Welcome back, Web Dev Warriors. Today, we have an incredible opportunity for you. Imagine gaining a powerful skill set that opens doors to endless possibilities. In just a few minutes, we'll take you on a code journey where you'll learn to create an amazing to-do list with just vanilla JavaScript. This tutorial is your path to mastery coding and unleashing your creativity. By the end of this tutorial, you will understand the basics of JavaScript and you'll be able to build dynamic web applications from scratch. Imagine how this knowledge can bring your ideas to life. So let's get started. New here? Ready to take your dev skills to the next level? Subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated to our newest videos, suitable for beginners and advanced developers alike. Don't miss out on valuable insights and tips. Join us now and let's grow together. As usual, let's start from the beginning, okay, right for a start. And here, let's create our main files. Let's start with our structure, okay, so our index.html is going to be the first one. You can also give the title. The title is the name of the project, our to-do list, a simple one. And I guess we're going to be done that in less than 30 minutes, okay? And let's have a style.css for styling, okay, our project. And for give it life, let's use app.js. So you have all the files you need here. It's time to connecting our HTML, okay, to our style.css and also to our JavaScript. The first one is done. So let's move into the second one, script. You can put that close to the closing body tag, but I prefer to put it here, okay? But you have to say defer, so it's gonna render the page, the whole page, then after that, the JavaScript. Okay, so let's have also a CSS reset, so our web page is gonna be the same across different browsers. It doesn't matter if you're using Chrome, Safari, Firefox, okay? So this is gonna be the same across different browsers. Margin 0, padding 0, font family, Poppins, and it's also sans serif, okay? The box size is gonna be border box, making it very easy to work with size and width, okay? With no surprises. Alright folks, and now it's time to create the container for our amazing to-do list. And here is the code, okay, .container. So container is gonna be also the class. Going back to CSS, now we want our container to take up the entire width of the screen. It's like stretch a colorful banner across the entire room. Okay, something like that. And next, we'll make sure our container is at least as tall as the viewport height, okay? And now, let's mesmerize background to our container. We use a gradient that starts with a beautiful blue shade and transitions to a vibrant cyan color. It's like painting a stunning sunset on the wall of our container, okay? For now you cannot see yet, but I'm about to put them side by side so you can compare, okay? Lastly, okay, let's give the magic color here. You can see both of them on the left. That's amazing. This time I'm using WebStorm. They are not sponsored this, okay? Lastly, we'll give our container a bit of padding. It's like adding a cushion around a precious gem to protect the showcase its brightness. And now, yeah, the magic is done. You can see it side by side. Alrighty, and here's what we're going to do. I'll type in the code to create our container and then add image to our to-do list heading. Watch closely and code along with me, okay? So you're gonna have the text, the H2, and also the picture together, okay? IMG tag with the source attribute pointed to our image file. We are just adding a cool visual element to our to-do list heading. Just make sure to replace the icon PNG with our own image, okay? As always, there is a link down below where you can download it for free, okay? This is going to my Facebook page and you can download it from there, okay? It's simple like that. Okay, and now let's grab our to-do list here and let's apply some style, alright? Let me give away space so you can see. I'm always keep 2 of them so you can code along. If I'm going too fast, you can slow down. If I'm too slow, you can speed up, okay? And let's give a width of 100%. And the max width is gonna be 540, okay? Make the container scratch across the entire width of its parent element. And for the background here, let's give our container a background color, like shade F7, 7, F7, F7 3 times. Another good idea is to position our container. We'll set some margins. This will create a space between our container and the surround elements. Here we have 100 pixels top margin, auto for horizontal centering, and 20 pixels margin in the bottom. And about the padding here, 40 pixels top and the bottom, 30 pixels on the sides, and 70 pixels at the bottom, okay? And you want to make the borders a little bit round. In order to do that, let's use our good friend border radius. And we don't need these WebKits no longer. And yeah, looks good. Alright devs, now we're going to style the H2 element inside our to-do app container. So let's get started by typing it here. It auto-completes as you can see. And let me see if I can type. Yeah, I can. H2. First, we will set the color of the heading text. We're gonna use a dark blue shade here, okay? 002765 to make it stand out, as you can see on the left, okay? And next we're gonna use our display flex for our heading. This allows us to horizontally center any content with the H2 element, and that's very essential. Let's also align the content with the heading. Was align the item center, okay, to be sure they are vertical align. Lastly, let's add some margin at the bottom of our heading, 20 pixels, okay? This creates some space between the heading and the content below it, actually 20 pixels. Now we're going to style the image element in the H2, okay? First, we set the width of the image to 30 pixels. This is gonna ensure that the image maintain a specific size and doesn't become too large or too small. So 30 is a good. Next, we're gonna add a left margin to the image. As you can see, this creates a space between the image and the text to its left. And in this case, I believe that 10 pixels is a good number. Let's create now a div element with the class row right here. And the idea is inside this one, we're gonna have an input element with the type set to text. This will allow the user to enter the task. Okay, is this one. And also give the idea of input inbox for ease access in our JavaScript. Plus, we've add the placeholder text that say add your task, okay? So the user knows that that's the place where he's gonna have his to-do. And next, let's create a button element. When users click on it, we'll call the add task function. This function will handle adding the tasks to our to-do list. Feel free to customize the button's tasks and appearance to match your own app, okay? Alright, and now let's grab that row and let's apply some style, okay? First of all, we need that to be flexible. So display here is going to be flex, okay? And the next thing here, align item center. We'll vertically align the items, okay? And justify content here is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be space between. It's gonna give a space in between them, okay? And to give the row a background color, let's set the background to F2 3 times, a light shade of gray, okay? We need the borders also to be round, a little bit round, so let's say something like 30 pixels, okay? And to create some space on the left side of the row, let's add some padding using padding left, and let's set that to, let's say, 30 pixels, okay? Last, we'll add a margin at the bottom of the row to create some space between subsequent rows. Here, we will set it to 25 pixels. And yeah, it's starting looking good. Now let's grab the input, okay, itself. And to allow the input to grow and take up available space with its container, we are going to use flex property by setting it to 1. The input will expand and occupy any remaining space within the row. So that's very important too, okay? Let's get rid of border with border none. We also don't want outline, so outline none. And about the background here, we want that to be transparent. Okay, so let me type here. Background is going to be transparent. Lastly, we'll add some padding inside the inbox using padding 10 pixels. Okay. Why 10 pixels? Because this creates a bit of space between the text and the edges of the input inbox, okay? Is 10 pixels all the way around. Now let's grab the button, okay? And the borders around the button, we're gonna use a border none. This gives a clean and borderless appearance. And we're also gonna remove the outline that appears when the button is focused. Use outline none, okay? Let's also add the padding 16 by 50. This creates space between the text and the edge of the button. Here we have 16 pixels padding at the top and the bottom, and 50 pixels at the left and the right. And for the background here, let's use this nice color here, shades of red, to make it really stand out. And for the text, let's pick a white color so it's very easy to read. Let's set the font size of the button text. Use font size 16 pixels. Here we have a good number, okay? The cursor, we want that to be a pointer so the user knows that he can click on it. Lastly, we'll give the button a rounded corner. Use a border radius 40 pixels. This creates a circular appearance by setting the border radius to 40 pixels. And yeah, our button is ready. Now let's go back to our HTML file, okay? And here let's hard code another list. Let's give a ID of this container. We're gonna use that later on using JavaScript. Inside of this one, let's have some allies, okay, a list. This way we can apply some style before we have this autopopulate using JavaScript. Let's duplicate this. All right, and now we have to do this 1, 2, and 3. And the next step, as I told you, let's apply some style to it, okay? And now it's time for us to give some style to our another list li, okay? Let's start with list style none. Get rid of those bullet points, the ones like them, I guess. The font size here is gonna be 17 pixels. Make it bigger and better for you to read. Let's also apply some padding, 12 pixels, 8 pixels, 12, and 50 pixels. Okay. Let's also have user selector none. Okay, this ensures that the list items cannot be highlighted or selected by the user. Cursor pointer, we want that to be here because the user is going to be able to click on it. Okay, let's see what else. Let's give a position relative because the next file here is gonna be have the position of absolute. Okay. All right, and now let's use the pseudo class. Okay, the one I told you before. So another list before the content is always empty. Okay, the position is gonna be absolute because this allows us to position it freely inside the list. Let's also give a pseudo element a circular shape with height and width of 2080 pixels and border radius 50%. Okay, now set the background image of the pseudo element. Use the background image. Here we are using an image file called unchecked. Okay, located in the image folder. There is a link down below so you can really download it for free. Okay, the link is gonna send you to my Facebook and you can download it from there. Okay, to ensure that the background image covers the entire pseudo element, we use background cover. Okay, don't forget that. So the background size, you can see that I'm right different here because I'm using element. This ensures that the image fills the available space without distortion. Alright, so background. The background position here is going to be center. Let's adjust the position of pseudo element. Use top and left. Here we set it to 10 pixels from the top and 8 pixels from the within of the list. Okay, so yeah, top 12 and for the left here 8 pixels, and you have it. Our list now display a checked icon before the text. The pseudo element is styled with the circular shape. As I told you before, let's grab the first li here and let's apply a class checked. Okay, this way have an idea what you're gonna see when this is gonna be auto-populated using JavaScript. Okay, so let's apply some format to it using style.css, ul li and checked. And we also want here two things to happen. When the color is gonna change, we want that to change to 777, and we also want to have a line through. Okay, meaning that yeah, we did it. So text decoration here is gonna be line through. Okay, that's one thing. Now let's go to the second one we want. Let's have ul li. input.checked. Let's use the pseudo class before. And here we want to change the icon. Okay, let's use the image again. Okay, showing that it was checked. We did it. Okay, so as you can see, we have a new icon, we have a new color, and also a line through it. Okay, now we no longer need this one. This is going to be auto-populated using Vanilla JavaScript. We are using document get element by ID to select the element with the ID attribute set to input inbox. We assign this element to input inbox variable, allow us to interact with it using JavaScript. Think of it as grabbing the input box and store it in a variable for easy access. Let's do the same here for the list container. Okay, we have a list container, and let's save that in the variable called list container. So simple like that. Here we have a button element with the add display on it. The onClick attribute is set to add task, which means that when the button is clicked, it will trigger the add task function. We don't have it yet, but let's create it. Let me just copy it so there is no risk of typo. Function add task. We start by checking if the value of the input is empty. We compare input.value with the empty string using triple equals. If it's empty, we display an alert message to inform the user that they should at least write something. Okay, you can type whatever you want here. You should write something. If the input box is not empty, we proceed with create li using document.createLi. This element will replace a new task, will represent a new task in your to-do list. We set, okay, the tag name WebStorm is very good because it shows this to us. We set the inner HTML of the new li element to the value entry into the input box using li.innerHTML. Okay, this adds the task text that was put there by our user. Okay, next we append the newly created li element to the list container, and let's give it a try. Yeah, it's working nice. Uh-oh, it looks like it's not. We have a new problem. Learning CSS, you see? The text is still there. Let's try something else. Maybe I'm the problem here. So let's say learning JavaScript. Okay. I add and it's still there. So yeah, that's the issue. How do we solve this? Okay, the right thing to do here is let's go here and let's say input.value and set equals to empty string. This clears the content of the input box, make it ready for the next text entry. Let's test and see if it works. Learning CSS, add, okay, add your task. Now you can add a new one. Learning JavaScript. I'm about to create a nice JavaScript course, okay? And this is very important. ChatGPT, you know this guy, is not going to replace you. No. This is gonna help you, not to replace you. I'm sure about that. It looks like we cannot get rid of it. There is no close button, right? So how can you get rid of it? Let's solve this problem. Do you know how? Okay. We start by creating a new span element using document.createElement and span, and let's save that into a variable called span. This will represent the close button for removing the task, okay? We then set the inner HTML of the element to /U00 dset. This Unicode characters represent the X, okay? What is gonna be a close button to us? Alright, it's done. So finally, we append the span element to the li element. Use li.append child span. And this ends the close button child as element on the task item. Allow the user to click on it to remove the task. As you can see, we have it here. We have X, but it's not that beautiful, is it? Okay, we have selected the span element using ULLI span. This tags all the span elements that are children of the li inside the UL, okay? By using position absolute, we position the span elements absolutely within their container, li. So let's say also write 0, align them to the right edge of the li. And top 5 pixels, position the 5 pixels from the top, okay? You set the width and the height of the span element to 40 pixels, creating a square shape. We set the font size to 22 pixels and the text color to 777. A gray shade to style the close button icon, okay? To vertically center the close button icon, we set the line height to match the height of the span element, 40 pixels, and use text align center to horizontally center it. So text align center. We apply a border radius of 50% to create a circular shape for the close button. And that's it. It's done. The next step, as always, as a web developer, is let's see if that works. Okay? It's working like a charm. So, congrats, you did it right. Let's keep moving on. We're about to finish this amazing app. Okay? Let's now grab ULLI span and let's apply a hover effect over this so the user knows that he's hover over something. He knows when he's clicking on something. Okay? So we're gonna change the background color to triple F2 and let's check again. Okay? We have this round background with this triple color F2, F2, F2. But we have another problem. It's not closing. How do you fix it? How are we gonna fix this problem? That's what we web developers do. We solve problems, right? Okay, web developers, and now we are gonna grab the list container, okay, and let's attach to it a event listen, okay? And in here, let's listen to a click, and when this click happens, okay, we wanna run this function that's gonna take in the event mouse. There is a lot of different events, okay? And now we want to check if the clicked element tag name is a li, indicate that a list item was clicked. If it is, okay, we should run a block of code. So let's, if a.target tag name is triple equals to li, or this is a lie, at least that the user just typed it, okay? So we are gonna use a.target to access the actual clicked element. If it is a list item li, we toggle the checked class on the clicked list item using class.toggle and checked, okay? This class will be responsible for styling the checked list item. When the list item is clicked, it will toggle the checked state, okay? But now there is another opportunity, another thing that can happen. If the clicked element tag name is spam, okay, is triple equals to spam, indicate that a close button was clicked. We use a.target to access the actual clicked element, which is the close button. We then access it parent element, use parent element to target the list item containing the close button. We remove the parent list item from the DOM using remove, okay? When the close button is clicked, it will remove the corresponding list item from our to-do list like magic, and that's it. Okay, and now let's check if that's working. So subscribe to Dev Made Easy, okay? That's amazing, so you don't miss anything. Learn JavaScript by subscribing to our channel. And another thing, everybody's talking about it. Okay, it's working, I can see it. Is don't be afraid of ChatGPT. Okay, this is not gonna replace you. It can help you, okay? You have to readapt, but you're not gonna lose your job because of it, all right? And let's check our to-do list one more time. Find the name, add, okay? Let's reload it, and yeah, our to-do list just forgot everything. Find the name, refresh the browser, and it forgot. Do you know how to solve the problem? Any ideas? You can pause and think. And the answer is gonna be local storage, okay? Let's take out that now. Now we are going to implement the save data function, which will save our to-do list data to the browser's local storage. We start by defining the save data function, and this function will handle the task of saving our to-do list data, okay? We use local storage.setItem to save the data to the browser's local storage. In this case, we are setting an item with the key data and the value list container.inner.html, okay? We have the function here, and now let's save at some places where it's necessary, okay? In the function add task, let's see, in the list container, okay, in both cases, when you add something, a lie, and when you remove it, the spam, okay? So I believe that's it. Let's check if that's working. Learn React after JavaScript, okay? Let's reload. And the expected is not working because we have to implement our show task function. We will retrieve the stored data from the browser's local storage and display it in the list container, okay? We start by defining the show task function. This function will handle the task of retrieving and display the stored data, okay? We use the local.getItem to retrieve the stored data from the browser's local storage. In this case, we will retrieve the item with the key data. We then assign the retrieve value to inner HTML property of the list container, okay? And now let's check if that's working, okay? Learning JavaScript first, then you learn React, okay? Then, oh yeah, exactly. Then learn React.js and the project is done. That's all for today, guys. I really hope you like it. If you like it, you know what to do. Subscribe and just click that little bell down below so you don't miss anything. Bye bye, and I will see you in the next one. Let me know down in the comments below what you'd like to see next, okay? And also tell me if you are learning right now HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or React, okay? So I can make more videos for you, okay? Bye bye, and I'll see you in the next one.